afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovative, and amazing Propagandacast from your host from Paul.A.D, the one, the only master of propaganda. Off here to take spectacular and the wondrous 1v1 on Langraskaya. In the north it is Paul.A.D fighting for America, freedom, democracy. Taking on the role here of the 3rd Armored Division with Mechanized. Heavy cavalry and recon spawn. I've got hiccups, lovely. Double Infantry Panzerfaust versus Bazooka, not Panzerfaust, versus the South Deathcore, fighting for the German Army, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the, let's just go with 17th SS Panzergrenadier Division here with German Infantry, featuring the 250-1 half-tech, veteran squad leaders, stormtroopers, assault and hold, and fragmentation bombs with Double Infantry Panzerfaust for him. Grenadier MD42 there for Deathcore, double rifle there for Paul.A.D, and as always, a small reminder to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Do subscribe, press the bell button. That's help me out fight the eternal fight against the YouTube algorithms. Also, big thanks to the many Patreon supporters who have to keep supporting me and allow me to do what I do on a monthly basis. A big thanks to them. You too can join the ranks by pledging on Patreon, or just donate. Links are in the video description for that as well. Grenadiers here heading out eastwards there with MD42 punishing westwards. Meanwhile, Paul.A.D moving ahead here on the warpath. He's bound Reasonance Rifleman operating towards the centre, hoping to catch perhaps Deathcore off guard. Of course, Deathcore was machine gun there close to the front line as well. He's probably looking to throw off Paul.A.D as well there with an aggressive MD42, which Paul may not be expecting. Second Grenadiers go on the way there for Paul, or for Deathcore, not Paul. Punishing West was there, unless there's somehow the same guy, which would be quite impressive. Right moving for the Western field, putting them on the centre here. We got Mechanized for Paul.A.D with the Mechanized groups, reserve armour, cavalry riflemen, mortar half-techs, and combined arms team front with the rifle corps there, gun is behind them. First engagement here is quickly ending a bit awkwardly there for Paul.A.D. We got Reasons down, of course, in the flank. Could remember hitting the machine gun there. Riflemen moving up, going for the munitions. Could try for the car punch. Probably a bit worried about the MD42 and other things. Could also fall back here towards the fuel point. Actually, possibly disrupt the Deathcore there and make it hard for him to get the field going. Third rifle squad is out. We're probably seeing some texture in here for Paul.A.D. Of course, you could also try and go for a fast dart truck here. Maybe hope to catch his opponent off guard with some motorized play. We'll, of course, have the extra sticks to that. Nothing further going in the base of Deathcore except more Grenadiers. Punishment on the west side. Reasons sneaking about here. Paul is basically, I think, trying to figure out where the MD42 is primarily and also what Deathcore might be up to. In fact, Deathcore is lining up for a push on Paul.A.D's car point. The Grenadiers MD42, third Grenadiers got almost done, and there goes sneaking on the western field. Rifle going for deep flank here behind Deathcore. And Deathcore is going to be a bit vulnerable to that. Of course, at the same time, he is returning the favour, going for the car point and digging in there with the classic Langraskaya pin. We'll have to see how Paul reacts to that, though. We got the tech going up there, and is the platoon command post. Very much standard pick here. Riflemen to the Parnies, more ruffling up. Need to deal with the Grenadiers. We've got Grenadiers got flanking here, tying down the rifle squad there as well. Got the fuel pump with the troops. Probably move up support here in the first, and then grab the rest of the point here. Meanwhile, Racing the south going here, and got to go for the car on there. So a lot of harassment, a lot of disruption from both sides. Good lord, some really fierce fighting here and there. Go Parnies, right at the rifle squad. They're almost taken out by the Grenadiers. Here, the skirmish continues with the rifle there, not in a great position. MD42 moving in there. Car is now almost unguarded. Almost got the point here. Racing going for the car point here, opening up and retreating troops. Coming under fire there from the Grenadiers here. Lots of maneuvering, lots of death. Troops retreating there. Lieutenant is out. Probably going to go for the car point there to reclaim that one. Got the fuel point on the west. Racing falling back up to the car point, hitting there. We got cavalry riflemen as well for Paul.A.D. Suddenly ending a lot of infantry here versus Paul and the Germans. Riflemen down, Riflemen 42 getting suppressed here in some swift action. Racing up in the centre here. Going for the car point there with the Grenadiers. Further looking to just stall and buy time against Paul.A.D. Lots of action, lots of furious fighting. Right, they're good to go, more or less. One guy not fully reinforced. We'll probably have to forward next, but I'm guessing some light vehicles. Right, they're still suppressed, but he's just holding out there, buying time, and keeping the fuel point out of Deathcore's hands here. So lots of maneuvering here and there. Grenadiers go pushing straight here for the fuel point. We've got the Lieutenant or Cavalry Rifle next, pursuing Adam Thompson. Got the car point there, opening up here. Lieutenant's occupying basically in the west here. Rifle Corps continues to hold out here. They're slowly being bled out, but until more troops arrive here, he can probably safely hold out there against Deathcore. On the east, Lieutenant here. Cavalry Rifle, versus Rifleman. There we go. Grenadiers routed. Ultimately, able to stay up against the Cavalry Rifleman in the rear. West facing moving up. They're putting more pressure on Deathcore. And all of a sudden, Paul.A.D's now control most of the map here. Outmaneuvering Deathcore, and Deathcore struggling to catch up with this. He's got the light to make us complete. We're probably seeing some sort of light vehicle to counter this, except, of course, he's so short on fuel himself, so he can't go for things right away. Panzergrenadiers instead, and Panzergrenadiers will typically be a very good investment for the Wehrmacht. He could also theoretically soon go for stormtroopers, which also had a bit of power there, but go pioneers routed by the cavalry from their submachine guns, laying down a torrent of lead, which the German pioneers stand no chance against. Ambulance there for Paul.A.D to provide healing. Very good investment there. Up north here, tank tracks, barbed wire going up. The lieutenant advancing here. Deathcore on the German army. Now on the defensive after an otherwise initial successful push. Highlighting the fortunes of war. And there you go, flanking him before to the lieutenant. Good play there by Paul.A.D, leaving Deathcore a bit stranded. He's going to make a run for the building, but they made up enough. He might actually take a lot of damage in the process. Thankfully for him, Paul has not researched grenade shells, could actually punish this machine gun even further. More rifling up here. Heavy damage to the machine gun nonetheless inside the building. Moving up on the other side. Moving on the troops into heavy cover. They're going into nearby, forcing a retreat here in the end. We'll have to fall back. Got the machine crew down to half health. Meanwhile, east side here, Deathcore sensing an opportunity, moves up the east side. Punch, because they're also occupying and joining in the fun for the German army, causing a rout here for Paul.A.D's forces. Driving up for the western fuel pond again. Back here, troops healing. And, well, mostly healing by now. Reinforcement has been done if any was needed. Nothing further going at the base there. Moving up to grab the eastern victory point. In fact, we got a small victory point lead here for Paul.A.D over Deathcore. And there you go. Panzer Grenadiers going for the flank of the rearson squad. 2-2 filling up for Deathcore to provide some motorization here versus Paul.A.D. He could also gone for the 250 and half cut, which would combine great with the Panzer Grenadiers or a Stormtrooper squad. Veteran Grenadiers are also available as an upgrade here for Deathcore. Would certainly be a great investment there for him, as always. Grenadiers with the rifleman there, plus the cavalry rifleman. That's likely, I think, a long stand here for Deathcore's lone Grenadier squad. They stand no chance against so much firepower, so much freedom. Grenadiers going to make another push, and even on west side here, we got Deathcore making a hard push up there. Piercing right through all the territories, looking to deny Paul.A.D as much territory as possible. Very good there. Going to use Pani's on the far right flank moving up there. They got the armored car ready for Deathcore and the 17th SS. A rather late division that was raised in 1944 and had barely, in some cases, had weeks of training before the fighting in Normandy began. So, and that was just some parts of the division. Others had a few months at most. Again, you had elements with like maybe 3 months of training, maybe 6, but a lot of them had just matter of weeks training. So the division did not have the strongest performance, despite, as an SS division, actually had larger amounts of infantry than the average, German division there. Anyway, troops from Rifle Lieutenant got the 5th coming away here for Paul.A.D to put more pressure on Deathcore. Pack 40 halfway down there for Deathcore. Rifle moving up here in the building. Troops reinforcing healing. Bit of engagement here. Lieutenant Rifle on the west side. Punch holding up here. No upgrade for them. Should definitely upgrade them with the support package. The marked target ability is actually quite good. Plus smoke grenades never hurt. Got veteran grenades away for one squad there for Deathcore. East side here. Cavalry moving about here. Once more push up here, but the 2-2 is blocking Paul's advance for now. We'll probably see the suit to counter that, or maybe something else. He could, in theory, also try and rush for medium armor, though. Well, if he goes for a weapon rack first and gets bazookas out, I think he'd actually make that work. There you go, ambushing the armored car there with an anti-tank rifle grenade. Good work there by Deathcore, and it's putting a flank behind the rifle. Thumbs up there to Deathcore. Back here, nothing further happening there for Paul.A.D. He's gone like for mechanized command post, so hard to say what Paul is actually planning versus Deathcore. Going to stay healing up. Thumbs up there to Deathcore for that one. Punts are going to be charging in by the quick suppressed with the 5th cal. Nice over there by Paul. Less great there by Deathcore. Just a tad reckless. Pack 40 flank back, fixing up the 2-2. Machine holding on here for him. He's spending some time away from taking up, simply because again of Paul.A.D's aggressive harassment and great field control there. You may want to consider another Panzer Grenadier squad here, or perhaps additional stormtroops. Another machine gun, I think, is also an idea, but otherwise something with a bit more firepower to contain Paul's infantry. And Paul needs to make some sort of decision. There we go, got weapon racks, but still not something like immediate, further plan there, be it mechanized or the captain, which also means like medium armor is not going to be forthcoming right away either, which is great for Deathcore. The longer Deathcore can avoid Paul.A.D beginning to stomp him with medium armor, they're better for Deathcore and the Germans. Grenadiers in a bit of trouble. Note he's lost 1 Grenadier squad, it's down to just 2 Grenadiers and 1 Panzer Grenadier squad versus an opponent with 5 infantry squads. So getting a bit dicey there for Deathcore in this department as well. We got more Grenadiers. Yeah, we'd like to see some Panzer Grenadier here or some Stormtroopers. That said, obviously, veteran Grenadiers are quite good, but again, I would like to see a bit more assault infantry versus Paul. Also a bit more harassment on the right flank. 2-2 up here versus the right squad on the west. Panzer involved in the center, and to take rifle grenade off from the 2-2 again. Less ground there for Deathcore. Canadians already. 5th cal bazooka team in the reserve. Going for the western fuel point again. East side we got the cav rifle moving about. 8 kills, halfway to Destiny 2. Back here we got the mechanized command post flying being paired here for Paul.A.D. Very good there. Certainly took a while to get that one going. Standoff here, continues. Got the machine moving up there. Quick falling back in the face of that. And east side we got the cav rifle moving up against the Gundiers here. Doing some nastier damage. Back here, nothing further going on there for Deathcore. Machine gun holding up. Cav rifle routed. Tech almost done, which case again you could go straight for the medium and pushing out medium arm versus Deathcore. We turn right in the center versus the Panzer Grenadier and the armored car. Of course, with the armored car, the Panzer Grenadier seems one become a bit harder to kill, so that's a nice bonus there. Plus, of course, they move faster. Finally, also more pressure on the right flank, which is really important for Deathcore versus Paul.A.D. Sniper for Deathcore. An interesting choice here, perhaps born of desperation. He's going to try and bleed out Paul.A.D. here, put more pressure on the infantry. Hope that could also slow down the armor, but also just give him more maneuver room here versus Paul.A.D. in the long run. We got bars up as well, of course. Going straight for the turn fuel point here. Thumbs up to Deathcore. He knows he has to slow down the fuel income of Paul. Even he's losing his own, and now we got a 3 times difference in fuel between Deathcore and Paul.A.D. Definitely dangerous there for Deathcore. Very dangerous. Thankfully, again, Paul.A.D. is not doing a lot here to take up fast medium armor because he could technically soon begin rushing out Shermans versus Deathcore. And that would be pretty disastrous for Deathcore. Sneaking some hits in the ambulance. But bazooka team are rounding on the west flank. They forces the armored car to pull back. Panzer Grenadier also forced to pull back. If he had to upgrade the support package, he could have chucked a smoke grenade down there to bar them all the time. Oh, they've got the eastern fuel point. Graham Western fuel point as well. Will he be able to claim both fuel points at least for a brief while? We'll have to see. A lot of maneuvering here, a lot of aggression. Cavalry rifling at west side. Pioneers will stand no chance against that, and there's not a lot of backup for them. Continued pressure. We got veteran grenadiers at the building. Another veteran grenadiers caught by the fuel point. Catching the 2 units here in a bit of a crossfire. Plus the armor coming, causing a complete rout there for Paul.A.D. Narrow save there. Sniper with 1 kill so far. Signaling more pressure to Paul.A.D. and of course attrition. No tech there. And we finally got tech going on there for Paul.A.D. Halfway done already. Very good. Bob scored right in the center here. Grenadiers backed up with the sniper, proving to be a significant threat there to Paul.A.D.'s men's continued, well, health. Punch going to be moving out there. Armored coming westwards. Deathcore once more turn the situation around here versus Paul.A.D. But we'll soon be hit by Shermans. We'll probably see bulldozer Shermans first. Of course, could also be the 7.6mm Sherman, which again has been seeing a recent increase in popularity. Going straight here for the 5th cal and wiping it. Could try and grab it, but yeah, no, can't. And we're probably just losing the unit and the 5th cal anyways. Armored car down, a bit of a blow there to Deathcore and the Germans to Deutschland. In the west, Panzer going to flank up behind the cav rifle. They could try and grenade him on the retreat path. We'll take a bit of prediction to figure out where it goes, so I guess it doesn't bother. As far as I'm paying attention. Alright, we're going for the car point first. That we're denying actually the fuel there for Paul. Thumbs up the Deathcore. Still, Paul.A.D. very close to Shermans. Again, the big question is basically what kind of Sherman does he want? There we go, he goes for the regular Sherman. No tech yet for Deathcore. Medic bunker up, they're tripping frozen healing. Pioneers pushing westwards. Panzer moving up, healing the Pioneers to grab the fuel point. Got one Grenadier squad on his own here now, suddenly surrounded by Americans on all sides. Worried that headquarters might have forgotten them. Just a bit. Sniper joining in for some Yankee shooting there. Joining in to hunt. And goes Sherman halfway done there for Paul.A.D. for the 3rd Armored Division. I've got the rider with the sniper in before 2 comma. We got 8 kills there on the German sniper. 8 kills. North here, Punch being riding with the cav rifle from the bazooka team lieutenant and the 5th cal. East side here, continue finding the grenades. Be careful, Sherman. Almost done there for Paul.A.D. Will be hitting him like a ton of bricks from Detroit. There we go. M43 Sherman out. Bulldozer blades there is the 1st upgrade. Very good. Should also, of course, upgrade the 5th cal. Meanwhile, big push for this fuel point again. Paul definitely wants to shut the fuel supply there for the Germans. And he wants to do it fast. Back here, still no take up for Deathcore. Definitely should consider taking up soon to at least rush out maybe some Stooks here versus Paul.A.D. 2nd pack there for Deathcore. Could indicate he might be planning for tier 4 there. Ooh, showing a bit closer than this to get hit by the Panther Faust here. Could be a bit of a problem there for him. Is he finding smoke here at the pack's direction? He is not. And the bulldozer blades. Oh, there we go. Smoke us off. But could perhaps be a bit too late here. We'll have to see. Maybe just in time. Yup, looks like it. Looks like it. Gunners are moving in. And there goes the bulldozer blade out. Oh, takes a hit nonetheless. Panther Faust probably won't be able to put. Oh, it was enough. Really bad luck there for Paul.A.D. Probably shouldn't have raced out so far ahead there, to be honest. Meanwhile, the troops moving in there, flanking, clearing up the MD-42 there. Seeing the loss of the Sherman. Paul.A.D. still manages to make huge gains against Deathcore. And there you go, the pack is cleared out as well. This is catastrophic. At least he has a pack, but the problem, of course, is Leslie's lost the pack. He gave one over to his opponent. When he finally gets out armor, he's going to have to deal with more anti-tank weapons. This is disastrous. Plus, of course, there is the MD-42 on his car point. The situation with Deathcore just got incredibly horrid. Pioneers need to retreat before they get annihilated here, but the MD-42 Pans are going to be suppressed as well. They had the support package, at least popped smoke, but he hasn't got any. Sniper, they're hard at work. 15 kills, close to 52 there. Could try with the incendiary explosion around here on the MD-42 here. There we go. MD-42 falling back there, but really close here for Deathcore. His situation's really taking a turn for the worse. Meanwhile, this opponent, of course, has a ton of infantry, support weapons, and an anti-tank gun. Plus, he can go for more tanks in the future. Deathcore still going to take him time. Plus, we got the 5th card opening up the punch on the carve point. The situation for Deathcore is really tough. And it'll be hard to see there how he sort of pulls out there. It's not impossible, I imagine, but he's going to have to like really work for it. It's going to require him getting out some armor soon. Major caught here, but the veteran gun these 5th cover out there as well here. Sniper there hard at work with 17 kills now. Still no take there for Deathcore. Meanwhile, for Paul.A.D's base, we've got troops reinforcing healing, others marching out there. Under the great banner of democracy. Finally some tech there for Deathcore. Finally. I'm guessing medium armor here, some Panther Force, maybe a Stuk. I mean, unless Deathcore's insane, in which case he'll just go straight for tier 4. I mean, it has happened before. And who knows, Deathcore might also try that path, though it's definitely not the one I'd advise. We also got one fragmentation bomb here now loaded up. Possibly, if Paul.A.D. gets a bit overconfident, makes a mistake, he could punish Paul.A.D. with a fragmentation bomb, which could prove to be helpful here for Deathcore. But the question is, of course, will Paul.A.D. present Deathcore there with a perfect fragmentation bomb opportunity? Will he simply line all of his troops around one point in a big fat bunch? Apparently, he almost did there. In this case, they're not actually wasting the missions there of Deathcore. And he might even lose the Panther here to the swarming infantry there. That is not great for Deathcore. Looks like the Panther is narrowly survived that, though. Good lord, we got 20 kills from the sniper. But this is pretty bad. We got a huge swarming infantry ground here for Paul.A.D. and the 3rd Armor Division. Armor is, well, he can build the support core and definitely should, except the Pioneers are by the fuel point. They're out on their own. Could gain some snaps in the machine gun here, the MD-42. Swarming from against the Pioneers. Need to treat those, I think. Another kill there. Paul.A.D. not far away from another tank. Pioneers are forced to retreat right past the Dolgan moving up there. Opening up the cavalry rifle, focusing on the big priority target there. I think that's very good there. The swarm advances now on Deathcore's infantry. Sniper there. Opening up here, 23 kills. Panzer moving up here as well. Troops retreating. Grenadiers being slaughtered, but so are the Americans to a lesser degree here. Grenadiers got pushed back. Moving up here, not enough ammunition for a grenade here against Paul.A.D. Casualties piling up. The grass stained red with blood of Americans and Germans alike. And now, Deathcore has only one point on the map. Everything else is either neutral or American. Thankfully for him, Paul.A.D. is not going for more tanks. That said, he's not yet to go for any armor of his own. Panzer pushing back the rifle squad. Got the pack moving up the eastern side here, troops reinforcing healing. Support Corps finding the way there for Deathcore. It's probably going to be a Panther 4 here to put pressure on the infantry and the armor at the same time. Sniper there sneaking about. 25 kills, 26 kills. Panzer moving up here, close to the east level. Ground pointing with the pack 40, machine gun routed there. Going for the victory point here, we got 246 to 367. More bars being handed out to Paul.A.D. like they're candies, which, considering the United States fondness for guns, might actually be the case almost. Moving up with the sniper in the centre, pack being pushed back. Here we got a big in from the contact on the east side. So now, of course, need to be careful he doesn't get caught and wiped out. Close to the Panther 4 here for Deathcore. Still, no tanks for Paul.A.D. That is really fortunate here for Deathcore that Paul.A.D perhaps is getting too overconfident, too arrogant, that he suffers too heavy infantry losses, so can't get out more armor, which would allow Deathcore to then get out tanks, in which case he might be able to swing this around on it, as long as he doesn't do anything, you know, silly himself. Still, Deathcore's got quite a chance of him. He's still, like, you know, far behind in a lot of areas, and Paul.A.D still has a lot of stuff, including a bunch of his stuff. Well, technically, the German army stuff, but, you know, details. Almost got the Rifle Squad. Could he get a wipe then? Paul.A.D, could he get the wipe? No. Meanwhile, Big Swarm, the Pentagon, just finally had the luck expire as they get annihilated by the blob of Paul.A.D. Pioneers need to respond then. They could also risk getting wiped out again just by the sheer amount of firepower here that Paul.A.D's managed to assemble on his men. Like, so much lead, so much death. Card point hit again. Panther almost done. Sniper there. 30 kills. He needs to replace his infantry, but of course he's just a shot and everything. It's going to be a hard time, I think, to find the manpower for it. Fifth coming up here. Gun needs could flank behind, maybe get a rifle grenade on it. Gun needs to push back as well there. Yeah, I think you should pop out then. Rifle grenade, meanwhile, Panther moving up here, catching the infantry out in the open. 3 kills already. Gun is moving up here. Do we get the rifle grenade? Ah, they move out already. Never mind. And the machine gun is routed. Shot fired. I imagine Paul.A.D's going to go for Sherman soon. Troops reinforcing healing. Pack 40 hanging back here for Deathcore. 201 from 367. More gun for Deathcore. No Panzer Grenadier or Stormtroopers. Bit sad of that personally. Bazooka team moving in for the Panther. Plus got the cavalry from here. And we got the sniper there with ace level 33 kills. I mean, obviously another reason you might want to go for gun is they're just cheap and he needs more troops now rather than, you know, when it's convenient. 76mm Sherman there on the way for Paul.A.D. That's going to seem to be a bit of a challenge there for the Panther 4, though not impossible. Though again, it is going to be a challenge. It's going to be rather tough for him. He may need some Stooks and some other stuff to back up that Panther 4. Sherman halfway done there from Paul.A.D. and actually, if he saves up manpower, go for one shortly after the first 76mm Shermans. Now moving ahead there, Panther forming in as well. Panzerkampfwagen 4 is mobilized. Striking hard for Deutschland. He needs to push the front as far back as possible here to, like, A, have something to give up, but also just deny Paul.A.D. as many resources. Doesn't need to be careful, does no extend the Panther either. There you go. Gets the ambulance though. Gets the ambulance, but it does risk 2 hits to the Panther 4, meaning it's going to take quite some time to repair. No, gets lucky. Still, he will need to fix up the damage here. Oh, it's going to be quite disadvantaged versus any tank. We're still taking out the ambulance. Does make it hard for Paul.A.D. to heal and enforce. Or mostly heal, obviously. So that's a small win there. Plus, of course, this is a psychological element. He can just, you know, threaten his opponent's arm with space even in this state. So that might also be a morale shot. But there you go. Shimming up the right flank here. Already ready with its HVAC rounds. Which, no, had more penetration, but not more damage. Also shoot slower. So, not necessarily the best pick versus the Panzer 4. But, you know, certainly threatening. Panther 4 opening up. Shoots good hit in the Sherman. Shot bounced. Pack 4 lands great in the Sherman. Another hit from the Panther 4. Perhaps Paul.A.D. once more, perhaps getting just a tad overconfident here. Hubris, all that stuff. Almost got the Panther 4. The Panther 4 misses. The Panther 4 misses. But here we sort of see the issue with HVAC rounds. They shoot rather slowly, and there you go. Gets the Sherman. A close one here for Deathcore and Paul.A.D. And then Deathcore came slightly ahead. Panther 4 now with 5 kills, Veterans 1. Still, Paul.A.D. can easily replace the tank. Deathcore will not be able to easily replace the tank. Even then, you shouldn't be, you know, chucking about your tanks that easily. Almost getting rid of there, but taking suppressed by another MD-42 there. We got 160 versus 360 to 36. You need to fix up this Panzer 4 Schnell. And Paul.A.D. of course needs to get more armor at a rapid pace. Got the 5th cal here. This is pretty big. There for Deathcore, it's going to be huge help versus the infantry, since it is highly mobile and highly potent. Troops reinforcing, no healing here since the ambulance is very much ablaze. Well, it was ablaze. Not much fire going on there now. Major hanging about, they're pushing up these up with the Pack 40. Panzer 4 being fixed up with the Pioneer. Troops reinforcing, or should reinforcing sniper there with 36 kills. Keeps harassing and murdering the Paul.A.D's infantry, showing no mercy. No sign of slowing down. Machine gun setting up here. Ooh, not quite the best arc though. Gun needs arm reinforcing. Very good. Machine gun retreat, I think. Gun needs at these side. Pack 40 falling back there as well.
300 points remaining.
300 points left here for Paul.A.D. versus Deathcore. 160. Panther almost good to go. Troops almost good to go as well. Sniper is down. Needs some healing. He's taking quite a beating there. Western field then reclaimed once more for Deathcore in the German army. Almost got the Panther ready. 5th covers the Major in the west. Major suppressed. We've got 159 versus 291. Adding the pin-lock machine gun there to the Panzer IV. Cavalry rifleman gun flanking the 5th car. That's going to treat that from the Deathcore instantly. Otherwise, unless of course it wants to head over to the opponent, which would be, I think, less desirable. Going to use with the rifleman. Panther IV setting out. They almost got the machine gun ready. Could of course go for Stug to follow up with. He may also like just say for another Panzer IV and Ostwind. Paul.A.D still short in armor here. And there you go. Great on the rifle squad from the Panzerkampfwagen 4. Sniper hanging back, west side getting grabbed there, pushing back the Grenadiers. And there you go, another Sherman, this time a regular one here for Paul.A.D. Probably going to just equip with the bolts of blades. He can actually soon go for another one after that. Again, you can see with the manpower, and that probably is the biggest issue for Paul.A.D. He keeps bleeding a lot of manpower. A lot of it. Cavalry rifleman there going for a deep flank, machine gun there, plus got the Grenadiers nearby. 5th Corps setting out as well. Not far away from another Panther IV, not far away. Roughly a minute or so, give or take. Sniper keeps murdering away there. About half health there, forced retreat. Moving up the pack for the side. Sherman almost done there for Paul.A.D. Then he's advancing back up at the Panzerkampfwagen, fearsome kills. And there we go, Rav4 plus Cavalry then from the Panther IV. Great hit there from the Panther IV, leaving Lewis dead in the dirt. But there you go, Cavalry getting close here. He's risking, you know, he's hoping the Panther IV to hit. He doesn't, instead now risk a central charge. There we go. He was probably again just hoping with a static Panther IV he could maybe land a crushing hit, and the Cavalry rifle just Panther IV missed every single shot there. Sherman out is going to be a problem there for Deathcore. Panther IV, he can go for the second one now, and he is exactly going for that. Very good. He can instrument the east side. Cops for the rifleman here. Machine gun versus machine gun here in the center. 50 cal versus MG42. And there you go. Rifle quickly up the Grenadiers. There you go. Bar drop. Both bars drop. This is huge. Veteran Grenadiers with double bars. This is disastrous for Paul.A.D. Machine gun wiped out as well. And the Pack 40 could go down as well there in the matter of moments. The situation has been turned against Paul.A.D. They've suddenly turned into a bunch of veritable Obersoldaten. Pack 40 turning around, the machine gun recruit, they need to turn around against the infantry there. Pack 40 from the Sherman. Good work there. Second Pack 40 is nowhere near to be seen. Panther 4 is almost ready here. Pack cleared out again, what's to be expected. Panther 4 there with a damage in, still moving back. He's got the western fuel point here. Sherman takes a nasty hit, they're down to half health. Second Panther 4 there is now ready for Deathcore and for the 17th SS Panzer Division. Goods from Bellickingham. Sniper there with 42 kills. Almost got the lieutenant. Panther 4 sitting out there for Deathcore. Sniper moving up. Troop falling back. Shot fired, Major taking losses. 82 versus 291. Panther 4 racing towards the base of Paul.A.D. of Democracy. So this situation looking very advantageous now for Deathcore. He's got 2 tanks, and of course he's got a Grenadiers Corps with double BARs. If we can locate that again. There we go. Yeah, that quickly turned ugly there for Paul.A.D. I would say the odds of them dropping both the BRs is rather low, but it does happen. Even just with one BR, these veteran Grenadiers would have been nasty with double BRs. That is some serious firepower they can lay down. Plus, we got 2 Panther 4s here. We got air recon calling on the Major, trying to got a pop and set. Now his Panther 4's coming straight to the Panther 4s. There you go, the pack crew is dead. Now he's just got a Sherman left to deal with the 2 Panther 4s. The situation has quickly turned undesirable here for him. We got the Pack 40 back in action for Paul.A.D. About to get cleared out there again. Sherman finding way here. No bazooka team either. Those Sherman reactions got annihilated. Sherman's about to go down as well in the face of the 2 Panzerkampfwagens. And there goes Sherman. Narrowly survives a hit there. He can go for more tank, but again, the problem is just the constant manpower bleed preventing from actually exploiting the fuel and gas efficiently. Shot bounce, lucky there. They're turning up behind. Cavalry up, trying to close the south charge. Sherman down. German down. At the same time, got troops moving about, but they're getting shot to bits by the grenadiers. Something once with the double back. There you go, they're moving from the south here. And Paul.A.D's infantry is getting lighter. His German is already down. There we go, another unit then dead. And there you go. GG, game over. GG. So there you go, a victory for the Germans, a loss for the Americans, a swift, brutal battle, certainly highlighting just, the power of, the Americans in the early game, but at the same time, if you don't play carefully, you can risk, spilling your advantage and actually allowing the Germans to get back, and that's what happened here. He simply, didn't push enough for tanks, suffered too many, I think, pointless manpower losses, preventing from building up enough tanks. He got too reckless with the tanks, which allowed Deathcore to slowly but surely, and cautiously turn the game around, which point he could sort of win the game there against Paul.A.D. So well played by Deathcore, 2 thumbs up. Hope you enjoyed this match. If you learned something from it, if you subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. Episode tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.